I'm Katie Wells, host of the Maximized Minimalist podcast. I escaped the hamster wheel of modern-day motherhood, overwhelmed by clutter and buried under the mental load. Now I live in a home that feels calm, manageable, and made for real life. I have margin in my days, energy for who matters most, and time for slow mornings and silly dance parties in the kitchen with my family. With over 5 million listens, the show has helped women around the world turn their homes into their happy place. Around here, we simplify for more peace, more presence, and more joy. We choose grace over guilt and progress over perfection. And we believe your home should give back more than it takes. I'm here to help you do the same. Come along with me and my guests as we share the real stories, habits, and strategies that help you lighten the load from the inside out. Pull up a seat, friend, and let's do this together. Ready, set, simplify. If you've ever stood holding something and thought, I don't know if I should keep this or not, this episode is going to completely change that. I'm going to give you one single question that can work as a filter in every room of your home, your kitchen, your closet, your bathroom, your garage, your car, your kids' rooms, everywhere. And once you start using it, decisions that used to take 5 minutes, or let's be honest, not happen at all, will take seconds. So let's get into it. A few years ago, before I developed tons of the methods and frameworks you know me by or for, I was trying to do probably what you've heard before. I was like, okay, I pick something up and I'm like, does this spark joy? Or I'm like, is this useful? Or whatever the popular questions are we've all heard. And every time I kept hitting a wall. These questions would maybe 10% of the time they'd help me, but the other 90%, I'd be standing there holding something. I'd be stuck, going back and forth in my head. Eventually, I'd put it back where I found it because I simply couldn't decide, right? A lot of us know this as decision fatigue. Oh my goodness. We're over it. And I remember one day standing in the kitchen, listen to this, I'm holding 2 vegetable peelers. Why do I have 2? Lord only knows. But I had 2. And I thought, okay, does this spark joy? And I'm like, it's a vegetable peeler. No, this doesn't spark joy. So that question felt just absolutely ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, well, is this useful? Well, yeah, sure, they're useful. That's the whole problem. I'm standing here with 2 perfectly functional vegetable peelers, and neither of these questions is helping me decide which one to let go of. And this is when I realized the questions everyone was telling me to ask, again, they're not bad questions, but for me, for my brain, they're just too vague. They're too they belong on a bumper sticker. Like, does it spark joy? It's poetic. It's beautiful. And sometimes it works, but I'm like, they sound great in a book, but for me, they fell apart when you're standing in your kitchen at 9 p.m. trying to make a decision about a vegetable peeler. I need something more concrete. And I've heard from so many of you, y'all are the same. Something that could cut through the cost, like this cost money, or but what if this one breaks, or but this is still good, or the guilt, or the mental back and forth. Something that helps make the answer clear and fast. And that's when this question came together for me. And that is this. Is this actively supporting me, my lifestyle, and my goals? Not is this useful, not does this spark joy, but is this thing actively, is the key word there, actively doing something for my life right now? Is it supporting how I actually live, who I actually am, and where I'm headed, which is nowhere with 2 vegetable peelers? I barely had a reason to keep one, although I do peel my veggies every once in a while in case you want to know. I do still have one and I do still use it. So with the vegetable peelers, one of them I reached for every single time. And so I was like, well, why? Because it had a comfortable handle. Literally, that was the only reason why. The other one was just not as comfortable, not even a little. So it was just taking up space. Okay. So gone it went. Out it went. Where do I put it? Into my donation station. That's what we do here. The decision took me about 3 seconds. And that's when I realized this question, gosh, it was just so different from others. It cuts through the noise when others don't. Again, I'm not knocking other things, but some questions out there, it's a feeling. And feelings are unreliable when you're tired, overwhelmed, or just struggle with decision fatigue like I did. You can't always access what feels good when your brain is fried. Is this useful? Too broad for most people. Everything is useful in theory. A broken blender is useful if you're like, oh yeah, I'll fix it. Famous last words, right? An old coat is useful if it gets cold enough. Useful gives everything a pass. That's what's tricky about that question. But is this actively supporting me, my lifestyle, and my goals? Does something the others don't? It forces you to define what life actually looks like right now. Not 5 years ago, not even 5 weeks ago, not some aspirational version of you right now. Once you've defined that, the answer becomes so much more obvious for everything else you touch, right? And again, actively, that word is doing tons of heavy lifting. It's not asking if something could support you. It's asking if it is right now, today. This question, as I promised, it works everywhere. Let me walk you through what it looks like in some different spaces. A lot of these are examples from clients. So let's say you head into your kitchen, you open that cabinet and there are 30 mugs staring you at the face. Is each one of these actively supporting how I live? And you're like, I maybe use 8 of these. The rest are taking up space, making it harder to grab the ones you actually want and creating visual clutter every time you open the door. In your closet, you're staring at a blazer from a job you left 10 years ago. Is this actively supporting my lifestyle and my goals right now? You work from home. You haven't worn it in 10 years. It's not supporting anything except a version of you that doesn't exist anymore. In your bathroom, 12 half-used bottles of product. The shampoo you didn't love but feels wasteful to toss. The lotion someone gave you that you never reached for. Is this actively supporting me? If you're reaching past it every single morning to get to the thing you actually use, it's not supporting you. It's slowing you down. In your garage, we just went through our garage last May in Clutter Cure Club. Love. That, by the way, just got my goat. I think that's a saying. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it makes me excited. It got me excited seeing all your results in your garages. Maybe you have boxes from your last move that you still haven't opened. Is this actively supporting my life right now or my family? If you've gone 2 years without opening it, you probably don't even know what's in there. You already have your answer. In your kids' rooms, right? Sky's the limit. The toys they've outgrown, but you've been keeping because they were expensive or sentimental. Are these actively supporting my kids and how they play right now? Kids will tell you with their behavior and what they're playing with when they're done with things. If they haven't touched it in months, it's served its purpose. One question, every room, every decision. And by the way, speaking of things in your home that aren't actively supporting you, I want to talk about one you can't even see. I used to wake up sneezing and congested every single morning. This is when I started looking into air quality and number one, discovered how nasty my air quality in my house was. And I discovered Air Doctor. This is the only air purifier I now use in my home. And I noticed the difference within days. Number one, the odors. Wow, made a big difference. We've got 2 boys, 2 cats, and we cook a lot, as you know. And that lingering smell that used to hang around from all of these people and pets and cooking is now gone. Second, my allergies have calmed down significantly. Same for my husband and my kiddos. Like I said, I used to wake up congested every morning, and that's not happening anymore. And third, I'm sleeping better. At the time, I didn't even connect it to air quality, but it makes sense. When you're breathing cleaner air, your body can actually rest. Here's what sets Air Doctor apart. They have a powerful 3-stage filtration that captures particles about 100 times smaller than what typical air purifiers can remove. Dust, pollen, mold spores, pet dander. Wow, sorry. I can't say these things without being grossed out, but it's true. Wildfire, bacteria, viruses, odors, ozone, VOCs, which are the off gas from furniture and cleaning products. Unlike air purifiers I've tried, it's quiet and it gets rid of all that extra nasty air clutter. Let's just call it what it is. You barely know it's running. Plus it has an auto mode feature that adjusts to keep your air optimal 24/7. And it reminds you and tells you when to change the filter. Speaking of decision fatigue, there is no guesswork. 98% of Air Doctor customers say their homes air feels cleaner, safer, and healthier. And Air Doctor just won Newsweek Reader's Choice Award for Best Air Purifier. So head to airdoctorpro.com, use promo code MAX, M-A-X, to get up to $300 off. It also comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is just for you, my podcast listeners, plus a 3-year warranty and $84 value for free. Get this offer at airdoctorpro.com and use promo code MAX. Okay. We walked through what this question looks like room by room, but I want to talk about why it works on a deeper level, because this is what makes it stick. Here's what I want you to understand about why this matters beyond just getting rid of stuff. When you start asking this question consistently, you stop making decisions from guilt, from obligation, or fear. And let's be real, if you're anything like me, the decision was, I don't know what to do with this, so I'm going to leave it here, or forget it, I'll just keep it, right? Because of guilt, obligation, fear, etc. You start making decisions from clarity. And when you have clarity, everything speeds up. It's like when you get the star in Mario Kart and you're just flying, you get that massive accelerator and you're just crushing, you're smoking people, dude. This is what this does for you. I love Mario Kart. I'm a little competitive, as you can hear, right? Everyone loves a star. So use the star. This is your version. Most of the time, the reason decluttering feels so hard, it's not just because you have too much stuff. It's because you don't have a clear filter for making decisions. So every single item becomes this own mental battle. It's like tug of war. Speaking, we're in summer camps. Very sadly, I didn't have summer camp opportunity as a child, so I never got to play tug of war, but I saw it on TV and I was like, that game looks actually pretty horrible. But this is what our brain does for every single object. If we don't have the clarity, this mental tug of war, like, oh, wow, it's a lot. It's exhausting. But when you use this question, it so helps cut through that. It doesn't care what you paid for it. It doesn't care who gave it to you. It cares about one thing. Is this actively serving you, your life, your goals right now? And you can simplify that, make it your own, but you get the idea. When the answer is no, you can better let go without the guilt spiral, because you're not saying this is worthless. You're saying, hey, this served me and now it doesn't. And that's okay. It's so helpful to have something super objective like this question. And I'm not saying it's going to be all unicorns and rainbows and you have no feelings or of regret or possible stings or anything like that. It's the start of building that muscle, right? So here's your one thing this week. Pick one room, walk in, grab 5 items that you've been on the fence about. Grab your version of that second vegetable peeler. Or maybe you have a second vegetable peeler. And ask yourself, is this actively supporting me, my lifestyle, and my goal? If you're going to be on Top Chef, the answer is probably yes. And you can keep that without feeling guilty. It goes both ways, right? This is what's cool about it. Don't overthink it. Your gut will answer before your brain probably tries to negotiate. Trust that first response. 5 items, 1 question. Just see what happens this week and use it all summer. I promise you it'll change things. And by the way, if this question resonated with you and you want to take it even further and add more star power to your Mario Kart declutter journey, which is what we're all about here on Maximize Minimalist, go take my free decluttering style quiz. We've had thousands of people take this quiz since it launched just a few months ago, and you'll get your customized 3-step action plan based on your results. Because the reason decluttering, again, feels hard is different for everyone. Once you know your reason, question I just taught you becomes even more powerful. So you can go grab that quiz and your custom 3-step action plan in the show notes. Thanks for being here today. I hope this question becomes your new favorite tool in your declutter tool belt, because I know it certainly is one of mine. I reach for daily and it's changed so much for me and a lot of my clients as well. I think it will for you too. You know what to do, friend. Ready, set, simplify. I will see you next week. Bye.